Get yourself buckled in because we're going straight for the zoo. Today we're talking about 10 things you didn't know about animals. You will not believe your eyes when you'll find out which creature sword fights its partner while mating, and you'll be shocked to hear about the animal that throws its children at the predators to make it out. Now here we have number 10. Ants never sleep. While you and I most definitely love resting our eyes every now and then, we can safely say that this isn't the case for ants as they never actually fully go to sleep. Instead, what ants do is actually just turn down their motor systems until they eventually are in a sort of cathartic state, but they never fully go to sleep per se. What this means is that they also never actually dream, since they never allow their brains to fully take a break. This is because they don't have a nervous system complex enough to exhibit the different brainwave patterns that occur in humans' heads while resting. Essentially, they are just purely and unadulteratedly too dumb to actually sleep or dream like us. That's both hilarious and sad. Can you imagine actually not getting a good night's sleep? That would truly be a tragedy in the making. Number 9. Camels have 3 eyelids. As you can already tell right off the bat, the main reason as to why camels actually have 3 eyelids is to protect their eyes from the sun. Since they actually live in the deserts of the world, any normal human being would have a huge problem with keeping their eyesight intact with the blinding sunlight, which is why they can live out in the desert for such long periods of time. What's even more impressive about this third eyelid is that it is actually a transparent membrane which protects the camel's eyes from both dust and sand, which means that you could literally throw sand in the camel's eyes and it wouldn't care enough to close its eyes. Now that's pretty awesome. Number 8. Basilisk lizards can run on water. There is a reason as to why the basilisk lizard is also known as the Jesus Christ lizard, and that is essentially because they can easily run on water for very long periods of time. This is because they have special toes on their rear feet which allow them not to sink underwater. They actually use these toes to hold their weight above the water surface, and as they pump their legs rapidly, they can cover very large distances without fearing that any predator could follow them. Another fun fact about the basilisks is that they can also remain submerged underwater for longer than 10 minutes at a time. This gives them the ability to both run away and hide while keeping themselves entirely safe. Now that's an adaptable little dinosaur, wouldn't you say so too? Number 7. Hydra Vulgaris eat without a mouth. First off, you might be wondering what exactly a Hydra Vulgaris is. Essentially, a hydra is a freshwater polyp that is incredibly small, only between 10 millimeters and 30 millimeters for that matter. What's interesting about it is that it doesn't have a mouth, nor does it have any bones. So how exactly does it feed? In order to actually consume food, it rips off its skin, creating an orifice through which the prey is pulled in. Within the same couple of minutes, the skin will then regenerate and its newly formed mouth will be gone. Another interesting fact about the Hydra is that its name comes from its ability to regrow any limbs. If you were to cut one in half, it would actually survive, and not only that, the piece you ripped off would also survive as its own being. That's definitely quite awesome for such a little creature. Number 6. Archerfish shoot out water at their prey. Take a close look at this little fish. Pretty harmless, right? Well, to humans, sure, but to a lot of other creatures, not so much. The reason for this isn't that it uses its size or bite to take down its prey, instead opting to shoot out water at any creature that dares come close to its spot. This water spray can actually reach distances of up to 5 feet in total. It usually goes after insects, killing them right then and there on the spot. Every now and then it can also go for larger prey too, such as lizards for example, which is always a treat for the archerfish. If the prey isn't killed by the attack, then it can always swim to where they fell and chomp them up while they're dazed. No insect can actually take the blow and still stick to its surface, since the water shot is actually 5 times more powerful than any insect's grip strength. Number 5. Sea slugs swordfish their partners. As weird as it may sound, sea slugs have a very weird mating ritual which involves them attacking one another with their privates. In a process similar to sword fighting, the winner then is the one that actually impales the other first, and the one that has been impaled changes its gender to female and bears the babies for the next generation. This shouldn't be too surprising for the sea slugs, however, since they can easily alternate between male and female during their lifetime, and they can bear their babies regardless of whether they were male before or not. That's definitely a strange but interesting ritual which takes place every time mating season is on. Number 4. Quokkas throw their babies at predators to survive. This has been talked about for a very long time, and while somewhat true, is highly different from what many people believe. In actuality, quokkas will not just throw their babies out of pure spite. Instead, they will only do so in case they are on the verge of death. If a predator is chasing them full speed and they feel like they won't be making it out alive, then they will leave their babies behind for the sake of them making it out. While it may sound barbaric, we do have to state that it does make sense from a survival point of view, since if the mother is captured, then both her and her babies are pretty much just breakfast for the predators. So, at the very least, when they survive, they can make another set of babies. Nature can be cruel, but we can't say that it doesn't make sense. Number 3. Snakes are fascinated by your TV. If you happen to have a pet snake, then we highly recommend you turn on the TV in front of them, because they'll soon have a blast with it. This isn't because they actually care about what's on the TV per se. Instead, it's because they're fascinated by the heat signature and the wavelength that are coming straight from your TV. Still, you can always put on some interesting YouTube video in the background and laugh as they stare in awe at it. Number 2. Parrots choose their owners as their mate. As weird as it may be, when petting a parrot, you could potentially be attracting it, and in doing so, your parrot will in fact choose you as their mate for life. Since they usually live past 100 years old, you can definitely see how that's a problem, as the parrot will literally outlive its marriage with you. This is also why they can be extremely violent to anyone else entering your house, as they feel like any other potential mates are in danger to their households. So if you do end up getting a parrot as a pet, be sure to keep that in mind, as they can be quite jealous, and they will refuse to share too. Number 1. Octopi punch fish for no reason. You thought that you had a bad temper? Think again, as you are literally a pacifist in comparison to an octopus. This animal will literally punch any fish that comes its way if it's feeling even the least bit bad, and that's not all. Even if the fish hasn't even tried to mess with the octopus, they will still find themselves chased around for literal hours, either until the fish gives up and accepts its fist of fury punches, or until the octopus finds another target to bully. That's both the funniest thing and the most random fact we could have found for you. That was crazy! Which of these fun facts was your favorite? Be sure to let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to click on the recommended videos on the left and right side of the screen for more awesome binge-worthy content from us. See ya!